We're nearly there, folks. We're nearly there. I'm Palpatine001, aka the Senate, and we're back with 1.2.3 with Manukau Ranges. The final pieces of the puzzle: the education, the transit, the parks, or green infrastructure, the communications, and away we go. Now, off screen, I did the education already. Now, with education, if the district is themed like Warwick is Southwest and Kama Bay is UK, I will try and stick with the respective civic education if possible. Sometimes that's not, or there might be too small a capacity, so I will bop over to the other one. For example, the technical university, which I've actually placed in down here, and the modern community college, which I have placed over here. So I also rejigged some of the zoning as well. I've also placed in the high school and the respective high school and primary school, elementary as they call it in the States, again themed as much as possible. I've also put in the postal sorting centre, the central one, as well as a small post office here. Well, it's the Eastern European post office, the small version of it, and the larger version over here. So those were done. Oh, and I've also placed in the taxi depot as soon as I find it over here. So that's the education technically complete for now. Other education stuff I will come back along to, things like City Library, the Telescope, Geological Research Centre, and the Hadron Collider later on. I'm just going to shoot back over to police, community kindergarten. I don't think I've added those. They're technically under welfare, although technically it would be an education one. So let's just wrong one. CN. I won't do City Hall just here. We'll do City Hall in a minute. So we will chuck one in here, and for the sake of argument, we will chuck in, or just too small to fit. We'll chuck in one there. I think I might be dragging that. No, not necessarily. No, it's just, or I just come out this way. To I will put that in now, and I'm just wondering if okay, well that's fine then. I'll just make that. Yeah, compulsory stop. I'm sure they'll like me for that. So the education stuff is put in, and I've put in this the post offices and post office and that, but I'll switch back over to communications again in a moment because I still have to put down the letter boxes, the mailboxes as they call them, for the trucks to pick them up from. So with education in mind, and me just finishing off the last of the welfare stuff, we now switch over to the green. Your parks. Sorry, that's terraforming. Your parks. Delivered in parks, large parks, sports parks, large sports parks, tourist attractions, and landmarks, to which there is only one. Now the new leisure venue stuff starts coming in, which was part of the extension. So, and periodic, and you also get these as well. Now we've got the Grand City one back over the city centre, and then again that shows up. Doesn't show up there. Living venue. Okay. Not so much in this one. Landmarks doesn't show up on that one either. I'm just trying to remember where the rest of them are. They'll be in commercial. The rest of them show up as commercial, into which there is a heck of a lot. signature build, and those are the signature buildings which we'll come back to later. So let's start slapping in our green infrastructure. Actually, and before you even get going on that, two things we need to do first. I believe I have already placed one in. Yes, we've already got the road depot, but we won't have its equivalent in that's interesting, it's gone for a walk. Park Cafe. Oh, because I scrolled down. Whoops. Park maintenance depots. Always crucial to keep things functioning as much as possible. So we will set one over here, and we will set one that can be placed anywhere, just can't get it gummed up in that'll service both directions. And as always, you can add on to maintenance vehicles and to speed up the maintenance. I will name these because it basically tells me where they're coming from. That's the first one. And then the second one, where is it? Wrong one. Wrong one. Even though it slightly crosses the district, it's still oh no, it's actually technically inside. In fact, if anything, what I'm going to do before we kick off is this. Extend that out. That's what I need to do really, is actually move that down ever so slightly so it's captured properly. So leaves a big enough area to develop in. Okay, stop the yakking, back to the parks. Back to the parks, I should say. Okay, so we've already got a park, and we've already got two parks over here. So we've got from earlier a fun complex and a large dog park. So let's shoot over. Let me put in the parks for both areas because this actually takes a while. Then I'll do a quick recap before we jump to communications. Okay, that's the park zone. As you can see, it can be quite a bit of backwards and forwards, and especially with the pocket parks and that are available in the game now, I can go back later on to add even more depending on how the development turns out. Parking is added later on a case-by-case basis depending on what is needed where, when. Which brings us on to communications, which is straightforward. The post offices are already in, so it's a case of putting in the post boxes. Which is a case of click, 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 click until it is all done. Nice to know it's there. Oh, I forgot to add a park up here, so I'll do that very, very quickly. Right, that solves that one. And yes, you do need out in your industry as well, so don't forget your industry. Even one for the rural. Now out here, post office is over here, so that would go there. Yeah, go figure. Who thinks they're sending mail in 2025? Well, apparently the game does. So away we go. Adding post boxes everywhere. Fun. Okay, that covers that area. Actually, I will, just because we're going to be bringing this live, I will add in the city centre post office just to cover that, otherwise they will squeak. Now the other thing with communications you also need to add is communication towers. So we'll do the big one for out here. Just to find a spot for it. So he'll cover most of that area, just leaving, yeah, they're going to be exposed. So we'll add those in, so that should have everyone effectively covered. Now these guys can be upgraded. The big ones cannot, so no need to worry about him. He can't be upgraded, he's just all in one go. And what else we've got in communications? The modern telecom building and the satellite uplink, which could add very much now. That just gets that all sorted out. And I suppose I could add a modern telecom building into the city centre now if I wish to do so. No upgrades with that one either. So that's got him set up. Okay, so that's the communications pretty much all set up, which means we're on to the last bit. Transit. Okay, let's get into transit. We've already gone into taxi stop. We've already put in the stations, bus and rail, which includes heavy and metro. We've also got tramline. And now it's basically down to the stops and the routes. Now, ironically, this also includes cargo as well. So we're going to do a bit of route placing, as well as putting down some extra things like bus stops and that before we can let rip. So let's go to shipping. Missed. Okay. Huh, how typical. Right, so we're gonna okay, that can be I've got to fix that in a minute. So it's the first one. Now it does allow it to do it. Case of just adding in waypoints so they don't get stuck, which is what we're going to need to do with the rail as well. Okay, so we've got two shipping lines, which I don't bother to name. No point. It's fine. Excuse me, two ships. Yep. And that's fine. Next up, trains. No cargo trains yet. We'll have passenger, mind you. Okay, so this one will be intercity. So this will go one. Skip this station for now. Now, what I've got to do is this. And make sure I don't catch one going out the other way. So he's going to go right over. So he'll cut right over, so we've got a crosser there. So we'll bring him in. Yeah, it'll merge, so yeah, that would actually be a good one to do them on. Oh, they're not connected. Oh, I haven't connected them up yet. Ha! Oh, that's a bit of a Oh, that's a bit of a bum. Whoops. Never mind. I actually need to go and connect up the rail lines first. Parallel. Okay. Let's set to bridge mode. No need for that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Ah, you got to remember that is also a cargo line coming around as well. So he is coming into that one. Okay. Just have to remember what I did all the way back at the beginning. Right, let's try that again. Okay. One. Two, which leaves this free for commuter. What am I on? Oh, passenger. Huh. Let's try that one more time. Third time lucky, maybe? Yep. Okay. One. As I say this for the third time. Two. Now this is a case where you have to follow the tracks. This should, yeah, flow along. So this is acting semi-intercity, semi. And then all the way down. So this is acting as a bit of a hybrid. This is just to get us going. As we get more lines online, bring the metro online, because some of these stations got metro, as you can see there. This will get redone to form just a central one. And then we just have the commuter lines running. So your transit network never sticks. It always continues to evolve. Okay, so there's your first one. Call it something very original. Set this up. 720 is good, good, and $3. Okay, next one. Because we've got technically 2 available to us. There he is. Tell you what, these are going to make some very good first-person videos. Oh yeah, he comes in that side. Technically he will flow all the way on. I need to actually connect that up. So this is a little bit long and tedious, sorry about that, but so when you need to lay down the lines. Okay, so that's the next one. Okay, that's that one. So what will happen when I start opening up the commuter routes is that yellow one that we have done will actually will be waypointed to come up and over, and he'll come in this way, freeing that up for commuter. In fact, if anything, he will be brought over onto this side, although I don't think I have to. Nope, because he'll be freed up and sent over to this side, freeing that up for a commuter line to run. It also depends if I bring a track around here as well, which I doubt, because basically you come in and transfer back out. So that is the 2 train lines to get us going. No cargo trains yet. The next is lining up the bus stops, which I'm going to quickly do now. So I will be back once that is done, and I'll also do the routes at the same time, just to speed things up a bit. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, those are the bus lines for now. There are some extra bus stops floating in that will be added later on as I do the first round of urban expansion in the 2.x series when we let the simulator rip. So the blue is, whoops, now this is, I should have done this as I went. Oh, so the blue and the yellow are Worry Town, so that's fine. And this will become okay, so that sets them all up. Now this should already be set. Okay, so then to the next one. Always run the electric buses. 7. Okay, just make sure the fares are all actually set correctly. Okay, that completes it, which now pretty much means we're ready to go into 2.0, which is let it rip. So, we're finally there, team. We've finally got this off the ground. Our first part of Manukau Ranges, starting with the city centre, Worry Town, and Kamai Valley, with all the zoning, industry, infrastructure set to go. Now there is this one last thing I need to do. And that is just connect this up very quickly. And as always, because we can and why not, roundabouts. Offline, but the trains will stop there. So, we are pretty much there. And as always, obligatory screen grab, just very quickly. I'll just take it from these two for now. I'll get more as we go through to 2.0. Well then, folks, we are ready. Shall we see what happens? We will. I am Palpatine 001, aka the Senate, and this is Manukau Ranges, concluding the 1.x series in setting this all up. Stand by as we get ready for 2.0, letting rip.